Hey everybody, we're doing our normal thing that we do, like and share so we can get the word out. Hopefully it will be a short show. I'm glad to be here with you all tonight. I'm glad you all missed me on last week. That's encouraging, but do me a favor, like the video and share. I'm going to do the same thing and then we'll get started and we'll be on our way. So like and share everybody and we will be on our way in a second. Hope everybody is doing well on tonight. And as soon as I see the video, I'm going to share it. And I hope you all do the same. Like and share the video. And we will get started. Hey Sierra, how are you? Alrighty. It's being a little slow and a little stubborn right now. Hey Matthew. It is not cooperating with me tonight. You know what? Technology gets on my nerves sometimes. It just will not work right now. I can see your comments, but it won't let me share to my page, which is really insane to me. But you know what? I'm not defeated. I'm going to keep on doing it. And if it doesn't work this time, I'm going to just leave it alone. I'm just gonna leave it alone, and we're gonna move on because I don't want to hold it. I don't want to hold anybody up because I got a lot to cover and some questions that some people have had, and I am going to give my little insight on it, and we'll be on our way. How about that? All right, thank you everybody for joining me on tonight. We're not going to be that long, but I'm glad to see each and every one of you taking the time to hang out with me for a few minutes and discuss some things that is very important that we need to cover. A lot of things we do that's not exactly the best for us to do, but we're gonna talk about it. We're going to talk about it a little bit, and now is not letting me see my comments, but we're going to talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to move on. This is one subject that is not just choir directors or directresses. It's pretty much everybody does this at some point in time, where we get so caught up in what we're doing that we don't take care of ourselves. And I know we hear people talk about it all the time, but it really is something that we need to do, because let's just be honest. We wear ourselves out for organizations, for our jobs, for whoever. And then when we take ill, who's there to take care of us? Even people that say they're your friends and whatever else. When you get sick, eventually they'll roll off and, you become a statistic or just someone, whatever. Hey, Beatrice V, an author, and I can't pronounce my friend's name. I always mess it up. But anyway, I'll be hanging out with him in the Altel section in St. Louis. But I wanted to mention some things that we need to do that I found to be helpful, and also to keep you in health in your mental area, in your emotional area, in your spiritual area, and also in your just physical area, because we know that everything that we do, whether we eat, whether we whether we're hurt or anything, it affects us physically and it takes us down. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in church work, which is a beautiful thing, but we get so caught up in church work that we forget to follow our example, which is Jesus, who himself, come on now, I'm trying not to take a text or anything. But Jesus himself had to steal away from the multitude. He loved what he did. He taught the people. He fed the people. He did everything. But he also had to steal away and get rest himself. God sent the angels to come minister to him. So if he is our example and he had to take time and get away to rest, then we need to do the same thing. We need to take care of ourselves. We do a very poor job on that. And then when we get older down the road, we get very sickly or whatever. And then we get angry because, I did this, that, and the other. But we have to care for ourselves as we're going along the way. Number one, of course, we know that we need to handle our spiritual side. We need to pray. We need to fast at times. And we need to be in that word. That is paramount for us to have success in what we're doing. As far as what we're doing for God, we need to make sure that our spiritual connection with God is at all time fullness, because there will be times that you will have a lean or famine season. You may not be able to pray and do all of those different things. It's almost praying and fasting and reading the word is almost like saving money. And then when you get into a situation where you're not able to pray like you want to, then God can, will step in, and what you have, develop over time will become beneficial for you at that time. That's number one. Always take care of your spiritual side. Number two, and also take care of your emotional side as well. But we'll get down to that later. But number one, take the time to rest. Okay? Don't keep going. I see people do this totally, and that is not healthy. Keep going and going and going, and your body is telling you, I need a break. You need to stop. You need to go to sleep. You need to did it. But we get caught up in zeal, because people love us and they talk, and all of these different accolades, which is all wonderful. But you need to realize when your body needs rest, it is telling you need to stop and take notice. That happened to me. I was going when I first started directing, and my choir started being known for a cappella music, and we were going here, there, everywhere, all over the place. And I was going, and one day my body was just like, I'm done. And we had just came back from another church, and we were on the church bus, and I'm sitting there, and no matter which way I turned, I could not rest. So then that told me, I'm like, I didn't know what was going on with me. I mean, I don't care. I sat up, I leaned over, I did everything I could to rest, but it was something inside, like my body was just like, I'm done. And then what happened was I got off the bus. My brother was there. I got off the bus, and I literally fell asleep on the concrete. Like, you know how you fall and you I literally was like that on the concrete. And my brother and my sister had to pick me up because, of course it made everybody in church panic because they didn't know what was going on. I was literally knocked out sleep. My body was just like, I'm done. And then they picked me up, and I remember them carrying me because I'm trying to figure out, like, why are they carrying me to the car, when I did wake up. And then I fell out sleep again. They put me down. And then the next thing, I fell out and I was on the ground. Everybody told me, you look like you were literally in your bed sleep. My body had just said, I'm done. So I don't want to see anybody get to that point. And I know we as directors, I'm talking to us specifically, but it appertains to anybody in any situation, even your work life. But I'm just speaking to us in general because I know we can get excited and we feel obligated to attend every event. We feel obligated to go to this, to that, and I get it. But we need to take care of ourselves. We really do. I remember I had gotten so worn out and so physically drained that I had developed a lump in my breast. I never really talk about it. But I had developed a lump in my breast to the point that I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in my body. One side was considerably larger than the other side. So you already know what that's saying. When they feel it and they say it's a lump, already know what that's saying. And it scared me because all the time I didn't ignore the signals. And that's what I'm trying to stress to everybody. Don't ignore the signals. And I did that, but I thank God I cried and prayed. I'm like, oh my God, my doctor was saying this and that, it was just a whole big thing, because that was the year that my choir was in a major competition, not How Sweet the Sound, but it was another one before that. And I was just like stressed out and whatever. But God, I prayed and God had mercy on me, and he let it just disappear. And he told me, from this point on, you need to start paying attention and watch yourself and stop being so caught up in what's going on that you don't take care of yourself. So I'm stressing to you all, when your body is telling you to rest, know when you should rest. You can't make everything. I'm a music president for a very large, geographically large jurisdiction. We go as far as Wisconsin, as far east as Wheaton, as far south as Harvey, as far southwest as Joliet, I believe. So, but I can't make everything, and I don't even try to make everything. Understand your limits. I don't try to make everything. If I visit you once in a year, that's it. You probably won't see me anymore. I know my limits, and you have to stay there. Take care of yourself. You only get one body. I know they're going around harvesting organs and all this kind of stuff, but you only get one body. So you need to take care of that, or else when you get down in our latter years, we will pay for all of that, okay? Number 2, when you're in self-care means also you need to be replenished. So directors, you need to be visiting other people. You need to get out, because if you stay in your right there in your world, in that church or wherever you are, you will get burnout, because because if you're leading, everybody else is not really that versed. Some people are blessed to have other musicians and people in the church who are aggressive in their knowledge or aggressive in their learning about music theory and all of those different things. So they can push you to do better. But most of us are over music departments where the people that are following us are not as versed in music. You can reach burnout. It's always good to get out and hear other ideas, other musical arrangements, and things of that sort. You need to go out and visit people. Just go to a concert. You don't have to go to a concert that you know somebody. The best ones that I go to is where, at least I think I don't know anybody. When I walk in there, I find out I do know people. But I try to go to concerts where I don't know anybody, where I can just sit in the back pew and just absorb. You need to do that. You need to learn how to get out. You just have to make up in your mind that you have to, visit. You need to be replenished. You need to see other things. That's how you expand your horizon. It's just like people who never go anywhere. They stay in a 4-block radius. I call it the 4-mile radius. If you've never been outside your neighborhood, you never know what's going on outside. So you always have a singular view of everything. But when you step outside that arena and you go and visit other states, other countries, and you get to see how other people do things, and you bring that back, all that is applicable that you can bring back, it expands your horizon. You don't have, you see things in a kaleidoscopic view. You understand? You're not stagnant. And that's what we kind of end up there, stagnant. And we get burned out, and then we want to walk away, and then all of these other unnecessary emotions come in. Learn to get out and to read and to study and to get magazines and things that are connected to what you're doing or where you're trying to go, so that you can grow and expand, and you will have more to say instead of the same little, whatever. You have more to say. And age and time, as my mother said, age will bring a lot of wisdom and things to you. In experience, I heard somebody make a statement the other day, and I thought it was kind of powerful, in that they said, you don't have to experience is not necessarily the best teacher. Learning from other people's experience is a greater teacher, because you can't experience everything. You kill yourself if you will wear yourself out beyond measure if you try to experience everything for yourself. You have to learn from other people. So I say that I visit, I get out, I go even to museums and I just go out and just sit in the audience and just absorb. because that blesses the mind and it blesses the spirit. And you want to do that. You don't want to kind of get off in your own little world and say, well, it's me and I'm the greatest one. No, there's a lot of insecurity going on right there. When you get out among other people, you learn. It helps dispel insecurity. And you know, like, I got to have this is mine, you know. No, it's not yours. Okay, sorry, came to tell you, it's not yours. You're just the manager at this point. Okay, so you want to do that. You want to take care of yourself. Number 3, don't get so emotionally attached. I know we love music. I love music. I love the choirs. I love all of the choirs that I work with. I love the people in the choirs. But don't get we mess up when we get so emotionally attached to something that we cannot, if we get shifted or they decide that you are not the person for it, then we almost like lose it. Don't get, because it stirs up all kinds. It's mentally draining when you do that. Okay. And I was like that. I was so emotionally attached that when the choir made a mistake, it was like the world almost came to an end. I was just like, oh my God, you know, you can't be that way. You got to learn how to take what you have, do the best that you can, and know that I did my best. When my dad always tell me, he said, when all you can do is all you can do, then all you can do is enough. You got to know when to let go. You got to know when to stand down and say, I did my best. This is all that I can do. You know, you're human. You can't, because then you're carrying unnecessary burdens and you don't want to do that. Okay. So don't get so attached, because when you do, it damages you physically. It comes out in your you know, you see some people, I used to have hives and, you know, the seborrhea dermatitis and psoriasis and all that stuff. That was stress from me being so engrossed in what I'm doing. And sometimes we do that. We don't know any better. We do that. We think that that's what we're supposed to do. But you can do an effective job in whatever you're doing and limit your emotional attachment. And to keep a healthy boundary, you have to have boundaries when you're doing something. You have to keep a healthy boundary, or it will do more damage to you than good. And you want to be a blessing to others for a long time. You want to, if you're in this particular arena at this phase, then you want to be able to graduate to another arena. You don't want to, like, when I'm done with this, I'm just out for good. There's nothing else for me to do because I've overworked myself emotionally, mentally, physically, that there's nothing else. You know, and then that brings about another type of spirit when you're no longer, when you feel that you're no longer an advantageous person to an entity or something. Okay. So you got to learn that's part of self-care. I had to learn that. Learn how to detach yourself emotionally. Only you do a good job, be involved in what you're doing, but know where to draw the line. Sometimes we forget where to draw that line and we suffer more damage than what we intend to. Okay. Another thing I thought about, number 4, always do your very best just in case someone else. Always, always take in consideration this point, that whatever you're doing, eventually it's going to be time for you to be emeritused, and then there's going to be somebody else coming behind. And I think when we think in that term, with that mindset, then we will take the time to train other people and get them involved. As a music president, I let everybody get an opportunity, because sometimes there are hidden talents. There are people who may be, sometimes they use the same ones over and over. And there are a lot of unsung heroes sitting out there, okay, that just given the opportunity, you will see what they are capable of doing. Okay, so I'm always that one that's trying to find new talent and see who's out there, who's capable of doing. Because I believe that if you open the field and you share, it shows something about you in that you're not threatened about what other people do. I'm not like that. I'm not threatening. It doesn't matter. I always tell them, you can levitate everybody off the floor. It doesn't make a difference to me. I have whatever God has gifted me to do, I'm going to do it regardless as to who around. Okay, but I like to see other people get an opportunity. When I was coming along, some people made sure they stayed in the way to keep me from getting opportunities. I don't believe in that. I don't. I've learned from my father. And my mother as well. But my father's life, the way his life went, he was the total opposite of what how people are when they suffer the things that he suffered. And I learned from that whatever you go through, don't let that turn you and make you become a worse person. Use that as a guide to know, well, this is what I suffered, and I don't want anyone else to suffer that. Okay? So always think in terms that that as time goes on, you're going to roll off and somebody else is going to roll on. And then you approach things differently. We've become a society where everybody wants, this is mine and you can't replace me. Really? You're going to eventually pass on to the next dimension. So, understand that you have a role and you are the one for this season and this time. And eventually someone else is being groomed right now, watching me, being groomed to be not necessarily replaced. You can't replace me. No, none of us can be replaced because we have all gone through a series of circumstances, trials and tribulations and things that in the way we process things is a particular way. And even if I train another person and make them my mentee and train them every single thing that I'm thinking of, I can't tell you everything that I learned because I forgot half the stuff. It's so deeply innate in me that I may overlook something while I'm telling you something. You know what I'm saying? As a teacher, some people are afraid to teach because they feel, well, you're going to get better than me. Well, you might in some things, but you can't. But I don't see it that way because I can't really teach you everything that I learned. If you follow what I'm saying. So when you have that approach, you think of things differently and you use that as to your advantage. Okay, you give other people a chance, and then you also open the door for yourself. If I turn around and open the door for somebody else to help them, guess what? Somebody's going to turn and open the door to help me. Okay, number 5. Work on something personal. Don't let that, like the music department, I have the academy, I have blogs, I have other things that I do. And sometimes when we get something, we get so engrossed in that we don't have any other hobbies or anything else going on. Don't do that. Find out what else you love to do and get involved in those things as well. Don't just focus on one thing and say, well, if I don't do this, I'm gonna die. No, don't do that. Focus on other things, other hobbies, whether it's education. Don't let this one role that you in as far as a choir director be your whole life. Okay? Don't do that. Don't let that be your whole life. That's part of your life. Just like your job is part of your life. Now your family is an intricate part of your life. But just like your job is part of your life, your car is part of your life, you have to make that part of your life. You don't want to get so engrossed in that you don't take vacations. You just like, well, oh my God, and that's why some people, when they get in these positions, they fight so much because this is all that they have. You find it on your job. You get some people on there, they just fight. They're territorial. And you're like, really? What? But that's all that they do. So you don't want to do that. And then it makes you a more relaxed person. When you have other things, it's like, okay. And I guess this kind of way I learned how to play multiple instruments. Because it's like, okay, if you on the organ, I go to the drums. You on the drums, I go to the xylophone. You on the xylophone, I go over here. These are just helpful hints. I realize that everybody is not ambidextrous and everything, but I'm just giving out some hints that can kind of help you because I see some people wound up so tight, and it's just like, why are you fighting over? Why are you fighting? Why are you upset? It doesn't make sense. You don't have to do that. You just, just be, you have to know who you are, know who God made you, know what gifts and talents. Yeah, we all on different levels. Because honestly, I play instruments, I sing, and I direct. But out of the 3, directing is the best part of me. I don't have a problem with it. I can play. I will say this, you will recognize the song when I play. So that's a good thing, right? And when I sing, I don't sound too bad. People tell me I sound good, but we always our worst critic. I just say, well, I sound however Jesus made me sound. Hallelujah, praise God. But I'm just saying, Have other things that you do. Don't just do that, okay? Because it'll make you'll be a miserable person. You always be uptight, and it breaks your blood pressure go up and all these different things. You don't need that. We got enough going on in society. You don't need anything that you do for the church should not be so stressful that it makes your high blood pressure go. Your blood pressure go up. You got headaches and all that kind of stuff. When you start getting all of that, doing something that you love or whatever, when you got all of that stuff started happening, then you know that you need to step away. You need to stop and regroup. Nothing that you do for God should have you where you stressed, you sweating, you got headaches, you can take high blood pressure pills. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. There are, trials and tribulations and stuff, but it shouldn't be so bad that it start making your body get out of kilter. And that is important. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Thank you. And you just have to do that. And honestly, once this show is over with, I'm about to take care of myself as well. I always make sure I have, in this role that I'm in, and I enjoy it immensely. I have an excellent staff of district ministers of music and musicians and singers, and I have an excellent staff. I will say the third jurisdiction, I love working with them. They come through for me, but at the same time, they also concerned about me and understand that I can't be everywhere at all times. And sometimes I don't make it. Thank God for Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal. I can send you a donation. Just know, but they know that if I don't make it, I really can't. And they would prefer that I rest instead of trying to break my neck and get there. But they understand that, you can't be all the way. I need to rest. And I do that. I take my nap, I go to bed or whatever. You need to do that. And that doesn't mean that you're old. That just means you're wise. Okay? That's all that means. But all of these different things that I said, I have another sheet that I'm going to read, and I'm going to be quick about it because I'm almost, I wanted to start keeping these shows under 30 minutes. I'm really trying to, because I realize everybody's time is precious, and this is the evening, and we're shifting into the fall season. And, we start hibernating when it started getting dark early. Here it's dark already. We start hibernating and trying to, get rest and things of that sort. But I just wanted to share those things with you. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of your spiritual life. Read, pray, and fast. Do your due diligence when it comes to your spiritual life. Do your due diligence when it comes to your physical health, your mental health. Okay, make sure you eat properly. I know we all like that fried chicken, and we like that tacos on Tuesday, and we like that pizza, and we like all of these different things. But make sure you eat properly. I have, this past weekend was my birthday weekend, and I ate every junk, whatever. But this is just one weekend, and guess what? I'm back on my salads and vegetables and fruits and water. I'm right back where I started from. Make sure you have a plan. Not just a budget plan for your money, but have a plan for your food. Make sure you don't have to have Weight Watchers and everybody. Just need discipline. What we're in, when we're playing instrument, to learn how to play an instrument, it takes discipline. We just need to add a little more discipline to what we do so that we can be effective. Okay, we want to be effective for a long time. And when I get ready to retire from what I'm doing, I want to move on to something else. I'm one of those people. I'm on the young side of my age. I have friends that's my age, and everybody claiming they old. Okay, go ahead. I'm on the young side of my age. I got a lot of life left in me, and I plan to use it for God and also to enjoy my life through traveling or whatever else I decide to do, or go back to college and get another degree, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you have to mellow out. And sometimes we get so high strung. Society just came into the church and made us so high strung. And then everybody, high strung rather. And then you got everybody, saying you need to be doing this, that, and the other. Be on your own timeline. Be on the timeline that God gave you. Okay? Don't let anybody stress you out and you trying to keep up with No, you can't do that. You on your own timeline. I'm on my own timeline. And believe me, My life is very peaceful. I'm yet steady growing and climbing and doing better. Do that so that you will be healthy all the way around, not just on one side, but all the way around. But I got these last 12 steps to self-care, and then we're done. I'm going to let you all go, and then we all going to do self-care, right? Number one, if it feels wrong, don't do it. We all know that. But sometimes you got to hear it. When it feels wrong, don't do it. Number two, say exactly what you mean. You know, sometimes when people ask us something, we be like, you know, you're like, you hemming and hawing. Say exactly what you mean. You're not being evil. There's a way to say, you don't have to be mean and evil when you say that. Just say exactly what you mean. Number two, don't be a people pleaser. Be a God pleaser. Please the Lord, and your life will feel better. Trust your instincts. You know what? Some people, you hear people say that, well, something told me. No, come on. We know if it's anything that's good, it came from the Spirit of God. If it's anything that's bad, it came from the devil. Okay? So whenever you get that feeling inside that, something is not right, you need to follow that. Never speak bad about yourself. Sometimes we do that. I don't know where that came from in society where some people you just speak bad. Well, I'm not this, I'm not that. You need to turn those tables around. That's doing something to your physical body. When you are always negative like that, turn that stuff around. No, I'm just not like everybody else. No, don't say that. You're not like everybody. You're unique because God has a specific purpose for you. But stop all this negativity about yourself. Well, I don't look like her. No, you don't. He don't want you looking like her. He don't want, you know what I'm saying? Let's stop this. That just irritates me when I hear people, oh, well, I ain't like this. Well, she got this. Well, he got, no. Stop speaking negative. What the Bible tell us? You should have, I can't remember the scripture, but it's telling you that the power of life and death is in the tongue. Whatever you say, you hear it and you speak it, that's what's coming out. Stop doing that. Don't let the enemy tell you all this negative stuff. And then you wonder why stuff is not going right. Don't do that. Speak the truth over yourself. Never give up on your dreams. I know sometimes we all sit there and we have a bucket list and all these different things that we want to do. Continue. It may be late, like my dad, he always wanted his doctorate in theology. And he started years ago, and he didn't complete everything until he was 75. He never gave up. He kept pushing years and years and years. And that is what we need to do. When you have a dream or a goal, and especially when it's when God gives you something and he births it in your spirit, it may take a while, but don't give up on it. And one of these days, you're going to wake up and it's going to hit. It's just going to come out and you're going to walk in your season. Trust me, that is what's happening to me right now. So don't give up on your dreams. Don't be afraid to say no. If you can't do it, you just can't do it. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you can't do it. I'd rather for you to tell me that you can't do it than to tell me that you can and then you don't. Dear Ashley said, you're speaking much with, thank you. Be kind to yourself. Come on, y'all. Be kind and sweet and nice to yourself. Sometimes we can be so nice and kind to everybody else, but when it comes to us, you ever been in that state where when somebody else is having it, you can just say with all confidence, God gonna do this. You're gonna be all right. Blah, 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 blah. And then when it comes to yourself, you're like, well, we have to be kind to ourselves. We have to speak over ourselves. We have to believe that whatever we believe for somebody else, we can actually believe for ourselves. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I had to get to that point because I was one of those who could believe for everybody. Girl, I told you it was going to happen. God told you it was going to. Look, bro, it's going to happen. And then when it came to myself, I was kind of like, but I had to turn that wheel around and start speaking it over myself. Yes, you can do it too. Okay? 10, let go of what you can't control. That serenity prayer. God, help me to accept the things that I can't, change the things that I can't and accept the things that I cannot change and the wisdom to know the difference. We have to do that. Let go of what you can't control. Know your limits. Some things are just something that God got to do. And you just leave it alone. Let him do it. Let's stress on you. Stay away from drama and negativity. You know how some people just attract drama? It's just like, it's always, It's, I have downsized my company in that I let people go. If you always got chaos and drama with you, bye-bye. I don't have time. I don't want any unnecessary wrinkles and stress marks and all this kind of, no, bye-bye, okay? I'm nice to you. I treat you nice, but stay away from all that negativity. I even limit what I watch on the news. Basically it's the same stuff every day. And it's always something, because it keeps you in a constant turmoil. Now there are some people who are prayer warriors. Well, God has built them to the point where they can take in that and they can turn around and pray, and it don't affect them the way it would affect me. Now, I do pray, and God does answer my prayers. But some people, he have given them the gift of prayer, where they pray, and that's their job, to make intercession or intercessors or whatever. I do it. But he's more pushed me towards music than he does as being an intercessor. But I can get a prayer through. Don't make that mistake. I can do that. And the last point is love. Learn to love people. No, we don't. Just because you love a person doesn't mean that you agree with everything that they do. No. But I do love it, because hate is such a detrimental thing. And that's why we should always work and strive and promote. Even in our choirs, we should promote the fruits of the Spirit. We should dispel and just rebuke that jealousy and envy and all of those type of things, the works of the flesh, and promote the Spirit, love, joy, peace. Promote that in your rehearsals. Promote that among your choir members. Promote familyism. We're all in this together. Promote that among the choir. And you'll find that they will sing better. You will feel better. They will feel better. Everybody will work well together when we do that. Okay? So those are just some of the things that I've thought about with self-care that can help you out, because we all need to take care of ourselves. We don't want to be a burden, become a burden on somebody when we get old. We want to stay healthy and strong as long as we possibly can. As long as God will allow us to be strong and healthy, that's what we want to be. And we want to be an asset to the kingdom of God, and not so much of a burden, as they say. And I'm hoping that what I said on tonight, I'm just a little 7 minutes over. 7 minutes over. But I'm hoping that I said something to encourage you, or just put something on your mind to make you think about it. Like I said, we have to take care of ourselves. God only gave us one body. And, we want to do the best that we can with what we have, where we are, and let God know that we're thankful for all of the wonderful things that he's done. So you all have a lovely day, a lovely evening, whatever time, because I have people listening at all different times. Some people is nighttime, some people is daytime. I even have people on the other side of the world watching. So I don't know what time. So whatever time zone you're on, whatever time it is when you're watching this video, I pray that you have a wonderful day or evening, and that God bless you richly the remainder of this week and the weekend, and in the days and the weeks to come. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you sharing and liking this video. I appreciate you, YouTube. Yes, my subscribers on YouTube are steady going up, and I appreciate that. I thank all of you that joined the watch party. That was a mistake, actually, but I guess it turned out to be good because I hit the wrong button. But I'm thankful for all of you that join the watch party and watch while I'm doing this talking. Thank you, everybody who's currently on. Thank you, Miriam Timon. Thank you, Deatrice. Thank you, everybody, for what you've done. And I hope you all be blessed continuously and even greater in the days to come. God bless you, and peace.